This week on Cinder's Playground, I will give you a brief history of the Batman villain known as Bane. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Cinder's Playground. I am, of course, your host, Cinder.
And I'm Jose.
And Jose, man, we're doing a sub request, man. I think I touched on this in our last video, or maybe the video before that. But like I said, if you guys reach out to me, either in the comments on our videos or just DM me on Instagram at Cinder666. Yeah, like I said, if you suggest something, I will definitely do my best to get it done. And so this one goes out to Architect 9593. He requested a history of Bane. So that is what we're doing. Sir, are you ready for this?
Yeah, I am.
Like I said, I mean, both of us are really familiar with the character,
Sure.
obviously, but I'm curious to see if I'll drop anything you didn't know through this. So without further ado, let's get it on. Okay. So Bane is a supervillain appearing in DC Comics, and he was created by Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan. He has had many interpretations, which we will get into. Since his first appearance, he has been a popular and mainstay in Batman's Rogues Gallery, and even made IGN's 100 comic book villains of all time, landing at number 34. So now we're going to get into the creation. As I mentioned, he was created by Chuck Dixon and Graham Nolan, and Bane's creation was the centerpiece of the Nightfall storyline from 1993. His comic book backstory is as follows. His father is Edmund Durrance, better known as King Snake, and he was a revolutionary who escaped the Caribbean but was tracked down and would die in the conflict. And his son was forced to serve his father's sentence. So Bane spent his childhood and early adult life in prison. And during this time, he would read many books and focus on bodybuilding training in the prison's gym. He also developed his own form of meditation, and being in a prison for so long, he picked up many languages, including Spanish, Portuguese, Latin, Farsi, during his early years. Bane carried a teddy bear called Oxio, which means little bear in Spanish. Am I saying that right?
I think you mean Osito.
Yeah, Cito. Okay. Oh. What do you call it? So before I go on, what do you think about that? That's how he ended up in prison as a kid. He's
Wow, I didn't know that part.
Serving his dad's sentence.
Damn.
Yeah.
I would be mad as hell. I'll be working out just to get some revenge.
Oh, what else are you gonna do? Just hit the gym, man. Push those weights. Who he considered his only friend, the bear I'm talking about. And he would also hide a knife inside him to protect himself. Through his years of training, he would eventually become king of the prisoners and would give himself the name Bane. The people in charge of the prison took money from scientists to test a new drug they were working on, and Bane was chosen to be the first to test the experimental drug. He took it and survived, and after taking the drug, it greatly increased his strength, although he would need to take it every 12 hours. After learning this, he would build a device that would pump the venom into his system whenever he needed it. He would eventually escape prison and would other other inmates talking about the bat from Gotham. This fascinated Bane because ever since he was a child, he would always have nightmares of a terrifying bat monster. So in his mind, they were always meant to face each other. So during the Nightfall storyline, Bane wanted Batman at its weakest, so he executed one of the biggest breaks in Arkham Asylum, letting loose the Joker, Two-Face, Riddler, Scarecrow, Mad Hatter, Firefly, Poison Ivy, Killer Croc. This forces Batman to recapture everyone, which took him 3 months to do. Exhausted, Batman returns to Wayne Manor to find Bane waiting for him, who nearly beats him to death. And with the final blow, bending Batman on his knee, breaking his back, and making him a paraplegic.
Oh, shit.
That's all. I feel I had to mention that particular story arc just because it's so memorable and it's such a pivotal moment in Batman's history, and that's what people know him for, breaking his back,
Even
so
in the movie.
yeah. So that's just his early history. And of course, he's had reintroductions for like the New 52 and, New DC and stuff like that. But that is his original comic book origins. Now, sir, we're talking about powers and abilities. Okay. Bane is highly intelligent. Even Ra's al Ghul says Bane's mind is equal to the greatest mind he has ever known, which is Batman. On that note, he was able to discover who Batman was inside of a year. Because that's why that's why he was at his house after he captured all those criminals, because he figured it out.
I was like,
He figured it out, man.
It was.
What's it called? Strength. He can lift 15 tons.
Damn.
He knows 10 languages, even dead ones. He's a superb strategist and tactician. As mentioned before, created his own meditation, but also his own calisthenics routine and his own fighting style. And of course, there's the venom, which not only increases his strength, but his healing as well. Ooh. All right, before I go on, so does his stats. What do you think?
That's insane.
50?
I grew up with him in the cartoon version, and that one was, I think, a little bit different. Like, for the most part, it was like he was always working with Poison Ivy, and she's the one who gave him the venom to enhance his strength and stuff. If I recall correctly. So hearing his backstory and seeing how similar it was to the one in the Batman movie. I like it. It's cool.
Actually, it's funny too, because who has a similar backstory to that in Marvel is Luke Cage, because he was in prison and then they tested it on him, which made him Power Man.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, with the impenetrable skin and stuff like that, man. So, like I said, but Luke Cage came first, obviously, because he came out in the 60s, and Bane came out in 1993. So, just saying. But like I said, but he's still a cool character. I fucking love Bane, man. Okay. Moving on, other media. Well, besides the comics, I think most people introduction to him was from the Batman the Animated Series, who was voiced by Henry Silva, and who shows up in Justice League, the animated series as well. Also in many DC Batman animated movies as well. Then He's in the Arkham games. He is voiced by Fred Tatsakor. Fuck that name up. I'm sorry, Ted. Fred. And of course, there's Tom Hardy's interpretation in The Dark Knight Rises, who I personally think did a good job, but I would have liked to see the Venom come into play in the film. So what do you think about that, though?
Yeah, I think that would have been cool. I mean, they kind of touched a little bit on it, kind of like through the face mask thing. I know there was like some gas coming out of his face mask, no? But they didn't really like say what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just for breathing. Like I said, it's been a while since I watched that film. But yeah, I think it's just for his breathing. But
yeah, no, like, I think, well, in that movie, that's like my favorite version of Bane.
Yeah.
Compared to the other one. The other one, they made him like.
Oh, you talking about the other movie one?
Yeah, the one with
Oh, Batman and Robin. I think it was in Batman and Robin. Yeah, that horrible film. That horrible movie. It might be the worst Batman movie. I mean, do you think it's the worst Batman movie?
I don't know. I would have to decipher. I would have to see it again. I haven't seen it in a minute.
Why would you want to see it again?
I don't know. I liked it as a kid. But as a kid, I wasn't really. I don't know. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew it was a Batman movie. I was like, I'll take anything Batman. Give me a show, movie, Lego movie. I mean, Lego movies didn't exist at that time, but I would have watched it all. Nah. And I was like, oh man, Mr. Freeze.
Horrible Mr. Freeze. You know, like I said. Oh, I just realized our two comic book characters are both Batman villains that we've done. Oh, no. So next one, I think we have to move on to Marvel, unless there's a special request again. But,
yeah, special request.
Yeah, unless there's a
special. You definitely had something up from Spider-Man.
Yeah, I
can
see it. Damn, yeah, we haven't did any kind of Spider-Man related stuff, have we?
Yeah, no.
No, man. Like I said, I mean, would you want to? Well, Venom. Would you want to do Venom?
Yeah, Venom would be cool.
Yeah.
Unless there's a viewer out there that slips in the comments and lets us know.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, man, you know, we're open to you know, doing stuff you guys want to see. So, like I said, if you want a history of a comic book character, it doesn't have to be a comic book character. Like I said, it could be, you know, somebody from Star Wars or, you know, anime. You know, except I'm into all that shit. Okay, but that is my brief history of Bane, sir. So now I'm going into some reading recommendations for you guys out there, and and you could go on like DC.com or whatever and just download it digitally or whatever, or if you're purist, you can just go to your local comic book store, like I said, if you can find one. Okay, first one I have Batman Vengeance of Bane, which is his first appearance, which I already talked about, so I don't have to get into that story. But that one also, leads into my second recommendation, which is Batman Nightfall, where he breaks his back. And of course, classic story. And
that was a classic line too.
Oh,
I could go into a bad impersonation of Bane.
I mean, it's iconic, man. Like I said, I mean, that one scene of just him, you know, driving his knee into Batman's back, you know, you're just like, bro, like I said, I mean, I think to this day, nobody's beat his ass like that, man.
That's an ass whooping you remember.
Yeah, man. You know, what you call it? So yeah. Then I have Batman Bane of the Demon, which is a retelling of his origin story. So like I said, this is after was in the mainstream DC universe for a few years and went back and retold his story. So that's a good read, of course. And I got Batman's Legacy, Ra's al Ghul, and the League of Assassins. This story is where Ra's names Bane as his successor, which is good. And again, that ties into the whole Talia thing that they kind of touched on in the movie. You know what I mean? But this is more like set in depth of it, so you see more of that side of Ra's al Ghul, in the League of Assassins, which I haven't read that one, believe it or not, so I'm gonna have to look for that, so, next one, I Am Bane. This is basically after the DC Rebirth launch of books where they gave Bane his own title. So it's basically another interpretation of his origin. Like I said, I figured I'd throw it out there. I guess if you want a modern take of him and can't find his original, origin story for whatever reason, go have that in there. And then last one I have, City of Bane. This actually is the second part of the Rebirth storyline where Bane takes hostages of the Bat family, and hold them hostage to face Batman. So that one is a good read for sure. Out of the ones I mentioned, which one sticks out to you?
The one where he names Bane as his successor.
Oh,
Rage.
Yeah.
I would like to read that. That sounds pretty dope.
Me too. I mean, when you think about it, he has all the tools, like I said, Bane, I mean, to replace Ra's, Raish. But, no, I agree with you that, yeah, I might have to look at that when we go to Comic-Con this year. I don't know, I'll put that in. Write that down. Look for that book, Okay, sir. So, as we do, and all these things, we can do some questions, man. Okay. Where does I was going to say Batman. Where does Bane fall in your Batman villain list? And second part is, where does he sit in your overall comic book villains list?
For Batman, out of all of Batman villains, I would probably put top 5. I don't know where though.
You don't know where? All right,
yeah,
I guess
it's kind of tough.
I guess I can take top 5.
Where would you put him?
Oh,
I'm trying to think of my order while you speak. Let's see.
He might be 3 for me. 3 or 4. Like I said, I'm putting it.
What's your top 5 then? I'm just curious to find out because
Freeze, Joker, then Bane. Yeah, Freeze, Joker, then Bane, and then probably after him.
Scarecrow, no Penguin.
After him would probably be probably Raish. And then after Raish, it'd be, believe it or not,
Clayface.
No. Oh, Clayface. Damn, I forgot about Clayface.
He just has so many villains.
Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about Clayface.
Two-Face, Clayface. Penguin is pretty up there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has some cool ass villains.
Damn, you made me lose track who I was gonna say. I forgot who the fuck was who was I gonna say?
You said top 3.
Well, yeah. Freeze, Joker, Bane, Raish, Clayface, and yes. No, that's right. I was gonna say Hush. That's right. I was gonna say
Hush. I forgot about Hush too.
I was gonna say Hush. You know,
The Riddler,
Hmm.
the Mad Hatter.
Riddler, Mad Hatter, Toyman. I mean,
so many. Jesus Christ.
you know, I mean, even though he's exclusively not a Batman villain, but you could throw Deathstroke in there too. You know,
Yeah.
he's more of a Titans villain, but I mean, he's crossed paths with Batman many times, many times. You know, but traditionally, I list him as a Titans villain, though. You know. Okay. So, like I said, oh wait. So overall, in your villains list, where would he go? Like around where would he go?
That's tough. I would say like top 15.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's like when you factor in like everyone we named for Batman, then you have Spider-Man villains, then you have like.
Yeah, I mean, if I recall, because we do have a top 10 villains list. I don't think
we do. That's why I said top 15 because I don't think he made my.
No, he didn't make either of our list.
Yeah,
the top 10.
So I know he'd be top 15. I think.
I mean,
it's just there's so much to factor in, and I mean, like I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they made more content with him, like, it'd definitely help him boost up there. But it's like, with all the content that there is out there, they don't really highlight like at all. Like, you know, when you mentioned his like strengths and stuff like that, it's like you don't hear about all that stuff.
No, you know, like I said, you know,
because he's not like a super mainstream. Villain, I think.
I mean, he'd probably be somewhere in the like 15 to 20 range for me, probably.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I made a list of 20, he'd probably be on the lower end. You know, like I said, love the character, but there's so many other great ones, man. So many other great ones. Okay, my next question is, would you want to see him again in the Matt Reeves universe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I just like the way Matt Reeves, like, directs. I don't know. He just, like, I don't know. I like it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, because for me, like I said, even though I have my issues with that film, to me, the Riddler was the best thing in that film, and it just like,
yeah, man, he did a good job.
And just like, man, if he can encapsulate a villain like that, you know,
yeah, like literally, no one's talked about the Riddler.
No,
in years.
Yeah, no, that was the best thing in that movie.
Him look, it's fucking crazy. And the Penguin, come on, both of them, like. Yeah, I give him some props.
Oh, well, like I said, I mean, I don't hate the film. Like I said,
it's I know. Yeah, you made me watch it.
So. Yeah, you made me watch it. But like I said, I don't hate it, you know. But like I said, to me, like it's the best thing in the film is the Riddler, you know. Like I said, and so if he can get that much out of which I'm presuming is going to be Mr. Freeze in the second one. Oh man, like I said, we can finally get a good Freeze, bro. Like I said, and I hope he, like I said, and I know. Well, I'm crossing my fingers that I could say he'll use like the animated version of Mr. Freeze. That story arc. I mean, you know, of him trying to find a cure for his wife and stuff like that. Yeah. Like I said, use that story, man. Like I said, and get a good guy to fit the role. And then, like I said. And if he does a third one, I wouldn't mind seeing Bane be the third villain, you know. And I want to see the
Killer Croc.
Well, he could do Killer Croc or Clayface, as we mentioned.
Clayface, yeah.
Killer Croc or Clayface. You know, I mean,
there's just so many options.
Yeah, there are. You know, like you said. Yeah, like I said, like him and Spider-Man, they have the best Rose Gallery, man. It's just like, you know, they can't be beat. The villains are off the wall, man. Just, like I said, and I know I probably asked you this before, but who has a better rogues gallery, Batman or Spider-Man?
Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna go with Batman.
It's hard to argue. You know what I mean? And I know you love the Green Goblin.
Yeah, it's just so hard. Like,
and it's.
I can't even say it's like solid Batman. It's just like I can easily flip my answer. Like, just thinking about it, like right off the head, I'm like, all right, like who's top Spider? Like Venom, bam. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, it's like Venom. You have Carnage. You have Green Goblin. You can count Kingpin in there, and
yeah,
Scorpion, Shocker, Doctor Octopus. There's just like so many, and they all give him a hard time.
Yeah,
they all give him a hard time.
You know what I was thinking? I was like, the only reason why I said Batman was because I feel like, and from what I know, like, not all the. Well, actually, they did team up in that Arkham game.
Who?
Batman's villains.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Like I said, I mean, they.
But like, they don't team up like that all the time.
No. Like I said.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, freak, and Spider-Man, they made like the Sinister Six, which is cool, but like the fact that they all had to team up to like get rid of Spider-Man. Meanwhile, Batman, like, they wouldn't even try and team up because I feel like they're good on their own. Like, they could try and get there. I don't know. It's hard.
No, well, I think Batman villains, I think their part of their motivation is, I want to be the one that takes him down, Like I said, I want to be that villain, that takes him down. So I think that's why they try to go at it alone most of the time, Like, I want to be that guy or that girl. They come down, I did have one more question for you. I'm going to see what is your favorite interpretation of them, but you already said it's, Tom Hardy, right?
Yep. How about you?
Oh, Tom Hardy, hands down, man. So, even though I really do like the animated one, but Tom Hardy, man, is just...
Yeah, he killed it.
Like I said, man. And then, I know. And, people still give him grief in that film grief,
Why?
Well, some people don't like the voice, and they complain there was no Venom, and I'm just like...
the dog.
I loved it,
Yeah,
like
it was great.
You had to give him some kind of accent because of where he grew up. Well, from his backstory and stuff like that. So he had to give him some kind of accent, So I like that he went with that. He didn't talk normal, because the character is not normal. Like I said, I'll keep saying to the end, all three of those films I love. So I can watch them and thoroughly enjoy them anytime. Like I said, I might have to do that for this year is over. Just have a Dark Knight night. Dark Knight night.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Like I said, I mean, shit. I think. Did you see The Dark Knight in a theater multiple times?
Yeah.
I did too. How many times did you
go? 4.
I think I went 3. And I think I saw Rises twice. And then once was an IMAX theater. Yeah, I saw Rises twice. I saw Rises the first day, and I think I saw it the next weekend after too. Yeah, man. It was a joke, man. Like I said, I mean, yeah, we definitely have to do that trilogy list soon too. Just thinking about these movies, man. Like I said, I'm very curious to see who your what your favorite trilogy is. You
You shall see.
Like I was saying, because I know that's either gonna be one or two. So I'm just curious to see where you put it. Curious to see where you put it. And as you know, it's gonna be up there for me too. So, like I said, I don't know if it's my favorite trilogy, but it's gonna be up there. Yeah, for sure. So we'll definitely keep that. That's in the immediate pipeline for sure. You know, like I said. So any thoughts or questions for me about this iconic Batman villain?
Trying to think. No, I think you hit everything on the head.
Well, I mean, that's what we like to do here. We like to keep things, you know, swift, short, and simple, man. Like that's why we say brief history. You know, like I said, I don't get to the nuts and bolts of everything because, especially when it comes to comic book characters, man, because that could be easily a 2-hour podcast if you went through everything. But like I said, I want to give you guys a brief overview. Maybe you guys are not too familiar with the comic book, you know, interpretation of this character, so. Something for you to, you know, listen to and get a little bit more in depth with him. And like I said, that's why I like to have those recommendations also in these videos, so you guys can if you want to personally get a more deeper meaning of the characters that we talk about here on Cinder's Playground. But yeah, like I said, we're at 30 minutes right now, so I think that's good. Gonna call it. Of course, I've been your host, Cinder. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram at Cinder666. I post about this my very own YouTube channel, Cinder's Playground. And also geek news and just cool shit I find on the internet. And also, like I said, if you not a big fan of Instagram or social media in general, you can always hit me up in the comments here. As always, that's where Architect reached out, and he said he wanted to see Bane, and we have delivered. Throw it over to my co-host.
And I'm Jose. You can catch me on Instagram at JoseC90. And yeah, just slide in the DMs, let us know what other comic book characters or villains you want us to talk about, and we'll gladly try and get that done.
Yes, for sure. Like I said, like I said earlier this week, you know, like I said, not only trying to build a community here, but you know, we like to have fun here. Like I said, and I like to be an actor with you guys. Like I said, so bring all the recommendations in, man. Like I said, you know, we'll see that it gets done. You know, like I said, pretty much nothing's off limits. So, like I said, hit me with anything. You know, like I said, very interactive here, and like I said, and I like to give also special thanks to everybody who's subbed over the last week, because like I said, I want to say like almost every single day we've gotten like 1 or 2 new subs. We're at like 80 subs right now, so I'm thinking I am gonna surpass that 100, which was my goal by the end of the year. What do you think?
Yeah,
I
can see it. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, so yeah, so thank you for all the new subscribers, man. Like I said, and always, you know, when you watch my stuff, share, you know, so we want many people to playground as possible. Like I said, because we like to have fun here, like I said. And also thank you guys for like also commenting on my shorts, my Fortnite shorts, you know, like I said, I am a Fortnite fan. And you know, I like, you know, showing you guys the little clips and stuff like that, man. And you guys have been very responsive to that, you know. So thanks again for that. But I babbled long enough. I am Cinder. He is Jose. Thank you guys for watching. And as I close it out, there should be a video recommendation on your left, and then on the bottom right, sub to the channel if you haven't already. And we will talk to you guys later.
Peace out.
I was wondering what was breakfast.